In this video, we are making the pop-up poinsettia card. So the first thing we want to do is start by folding our base of the card. You want to be sure to fold the circumference of these, especially because once we work here on the front tabs and get them glued down, you won't be able to fold these pieces that are right next to it. So there are several score lines. You'll see that on top and bottom there's a 1/4 inch gap, and then we have these tabs here on the end of each piece. So those tabs fold towards you. You want to go to the second score line, fold that towards you, and then on this top one you want to fold that up. What's going to happen is this piece is going to glue down flush to the base. So bottom tab up, 1, 2, second score line up, and this score line fold it back towards you. And do the exact same thing on the opposite side. There we go. And we're going to go ahead before we start working on the embellishments and glue some of these pieces down. There are 6 panels for the front of the card, and you can go ahead and glue these on. On this particular one, when I cut it out, I cut out my poinsettia pot that's going to be in the back. I cut it out in white. And now I'm thinking that may not be a great idea, because if these don't line up perfectly when I glue them together, I'll have white showing on my card. I had done that so that I would have a place to write a greeting, a holiday greeting on the card. But the other thing you can do is on these panels, if you cut the back one in white and this one here with the one slit, this is the panel that will be on the back of your card. If you did this panel in white, that would give you a place to also write a greeting. I think for aesthetics of the card, that might be a better idea. Might be best to keep your 2 pieces that you're gluing together, front and back, the same color, just in case, like I said, they don't line up exactly, and then you won't wind up with that other color showing through on the front of your card. But I'd already cut them out, so I'm just going to roll with it and see how well I can get those lined up. I'm just putting these pieces on now because it's easier, I think, to do these when your card can lay flat. Okay. And now we're going to flip it over. And on this side, what you're going to do is this 1/4 inch gap on the top and the bottom, and only the 1/4 inch gap, you want to glue flush down to your card. These will make up the space in between where your base is going to stand up inside the card. So you want to make sure these are glued down securely. hold that down, and then we're just going to set this aside. So I have already done 3 of my flowers, and I've left 1 to do with you. I lightly just touch the edge of this center of my flower with an orange ink. And then my petals, let me get my, I've lost the pin to my glue. I got to get this put in here so that my glue doesn't dry in the tip. Okay. And I am using Jumbo Java. And I'm going to just ink the tips of each flower petal. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to curl my flower petals. Now you can do it just by pinching. I don't particularly like to just pinch because I don't like to see a crease form in my paper. So I've got this size stylus which worked well, and I'm just going to just pinch my flower petals just right around it. Nothing fancy, just pinch them around. I know it's hard to see, but I'm just holding the petal on and just pinching it around the barrel of the stylus. Okay. And do that with each one. Okay. Now the flowers go together pretty easy. 2 of your petals are approximately the same size, and then you have the smaller one that goes on top. And just put a dab of glue in the center, not too much. You don't want it oozing all over the place. And then put in your center. Oops. Now in the center I have these little jewels. I don't even remember where I picked these things up at. They are not self-adhesive, which would have been a lot easier. But I like the color of them. So I'm going to use them. On the center. And you can use stickles or pearl dots, or you can just leave the piece as it is. I wanted to add a little bit of glitter. These are a little bit hard to get them to stick initially, so bear with me while I try to get these to stay on. I think I got it now. For my small flower, I just used 1. Okay, so that's how you do the flowers. There's also a little signpost, I guess you could say. You could stamp Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Birthday, whatever sentiment you would like on this. These three pieces make it up. And you're just going to center this white one on there. And then I'm going to adhere my flower right on it. There we go. So that piece is finished. Now I cut the base of my poinsettia pot out in green. There are, in the file, there is only one set of the biggest petal, which is your leaves for the poinsettia. Because I was doing this in green, these make up my other green leaves. The reason for one is the pot. I didn't have a terracotta color type paper, so I'm going to kind of improvise, and I'm going to change the color of this a little with my ink. I'm using this brown, and kind of rubbing the whole thing. And then I'm going to come in with my orange and just kind of rub it over the top. Work with the color till I get something I like. I've already done the rim of the pot. There we go. Okay. So, as you can see here, the flower, the petals that you can't see, the green, are here on the front. This one you're just going to kind of center around, find a place that you like there. You've got one that goes here. I'm going to use my foam dots to apply these, but I'm not going to put these on yet because they're dimensional and I have to glue this piece into my base. I want it to be flat. I'm going to go ahead and put my pot on because it won't interfere with me gluing the back to it. Now let's pull our base forward and take a look at this. So you want to acclimate yourself to the way the card looks. Flip it around and look at it, because when you're working with the front, it's going to be backwards to you as you're working on it. So this, I should have waited to put my flower on. This piece you want facing down. And go ahead and fold your tab. You're going to insert this and I will have to do some adjustments because the tab is a smidgen too wide, so I will have to lengthen that in the file so that you don't have this problem that I just had. Okay. And you want this to come all the way to the base. Then you're going to fold this down. The flower is getting in my way a little. And glue that to the bottom. Okay? Just lift this up. And glue that down. That flower is going to get in the way a lot, so I'm just going to try to pop this off. I am making all kinds of a mess, but that needs to get out of my way. Okay. So don't put any of your flowers on until after you've assembled your card. Okay, you're going to push the pot down to the bottom of your base here. And you're going to glue just the tab to this piece that folds up. Just the tab. So only apply glue here. Don't get glue on the rest of your piece. And just hold that down for a minute. And then do the same thing here at the top. Okay. Then the back piece, you want to make sure, flip it over. And we're going to line it up to the piece in front. So you want to apply glue to the back. Only to the pot. You want to do this whole tab. On the top and the bottom, those have to glue together. Bring this around and carefully line it up before and this is why I was saying that using the same color would be better. There you go. Line your tabs up here, top and bottom. Push them down. Hit that tab that's there in the center. Take a minute and just get everything stuck. Okay, we've got that glued down. Now glue your tab closed. I know sometimes my videos can seem out of sorts, please keep in mind it is the first time I myself am putting the projects together. I didn't quite get this lined up as nicely as I would like, so I'm just gonna redo this. And then there we have when it pops up. Okay, so let's try to get this flower back in here. If you do anything, please just remember to put this flower on after. Don't do what I did. Don't put it on before. There. Okay. Now, let's take a look at our other flowers. So, I'm going to put the back one on first. And then this one. I'm going to cut my square in half here. See if I can pop this guy up enough. There we go. Not that one. There we are. And then this one goes there. I'm going to use at least one foam dot, maybe two. Let's see if that one will catch it. Yeah, one should be enough. Just be mindful not to have your foam dot in this blank spot because you don't want it sticking to something behind if you are going to use them. Really press those on there, make sure they're going to stay. And there is the Poinsettia pop-up card. Thank you for bearing with me through the video. I hope you enjoy making it. Thank you.